I'm Chris Thomas, and welcome to this special MasterClass series on fundamental and foundational techniques that you can work on while you are sheltering in place during a time of. In this lesson, we're going to cover a movement of the hip we call splitting and how that works with ukewaza techniques. Basically, splitting is this. That's what the hip is doing. The front hand, the one that corresponds to your lead leg, goes out, and the other hand, hikite, comes back. Okay? And that's basically it. But the thing is that instead of coming from here, which means that the fist and hip are moving in the same motion, what we would refer to as a positive movement, the hand is over here. The fist has come across, or the hand has come across, and now it has to arc that way. That's what makes it tricky. As I do the technique, let's use down counter again, geidan barai, or geidan uke. As I do the technique, as my hand goes down, my hip seems to turn away. See that? So let's examine this just a little bit. If I just stay here and make a curve with my fist, you can see that that curve has a very particular line to it. The curve has a line, and it's not really moving forward, it's just arcing downward. But if I do a splitting motion and rotate, as I swing my arm out, my hip turns, and now that curve, instead of ending up here, it ends up over here, which means it has a little bit of a forward movement. It almost feels like you're punching. It has a kind of hit forward feel to it. If you can understand this and practice this, oh my goodness, it will improve your art enormously. Because this is a secret to really getting at pressure points and making your techniques very effective, where there's this kind of intersecting forces that are coming together. So I go like this, my hand starts, boom, see, wah, wah. Now, splitting movements actually emphasize the pulling hand. They're really about the pull, not the out hand. The work is done here, this way. So that's a key thing to understand, that when you're doing a positive motion, you just need to lock that arm, and even if you're, just bring the arm back, you can do a positive movement one-handed, because you just lock the hand in position. But splitting, pull. You pull this way. Pull. See? Pull. Now notice hand precedes body. So I start the movement, then I go. Start, move. This initial jerk gets the body moving. But once a person's body moves, they're going to start fighting you. That's when you need to accelerate and increase the pressure. So once I've got them going, then bam, the whole body moves and pulls them into this strike. If it's middle counter, this way. Rising counter, this way. Right, you see that, boom. By the way, you'll notice as I start to do this, especially if I really put a lot of energy into it, my back foot will start to turn slightly. That's because I'm emphasizing this side, so I put a little extra turn in there. And sometimes I sink down because I want that downward movement, that dropping motion, to really settle and pull the opponent off this side. Now I want to show you a super subtle variation on this technique. Don't try this until you get the basic feeling comfortably down. But this is a really subtle but valuable thing to know. It goes like this. I turn, and then right at the end, I turn slightly back. See that? Turn, turn. It kind of combines a little bit of positive rotation with the splitting motion. So it goes. It's tricky to get. It's good practice though. Boom. Back, dig. Right? Back, dig. Okay? And you can do that with all of these if you want. It's good to learn how to do that. It's good practice. It's a relatively commonly known and understood method in the Okinawan martial arts. But it is tricky and difficult. And a lot of times it's not necessary, because if you're pulling really hard on this side, bam, they just come into your fist. You don't have to do any kind of twisting or additional motion. But in terms of learning body control and body skill, it's a really valuable practice. So as you practice this, one, What a great time then to go punch, 2, punch, 3, punch, right? 1, 2, 3, right? So it becomes a great training exercise you can do. Hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Please understand that this kind of hip motion and structure is really, really valuable. So make sure to practice it and don't get frustrated. I want to remind you that you can get access to a great deal more content that will help you to continue to grow as a martial artist during this difficult time. There's a special deal going on right now. If you subscribe for 1 year to MasterClass, you can get it instead of $299, only $159 for the entire year. Just when you sign up, use the special code Keep Training. That's all one word, and it's all in capital letters. So I'm Chris Thomas. Thanks for watching. And now, go. Keep training.